Now, most of us know that the markets are cyclical. They go up and they go down. With the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 both closing at all-time highs today, a crash, a correction of some sort is inevitable. Jack Dorsey thinks, though, that hyperinflation is coming. He says hyperinflation is going to change everything. It's happening. And Cathie Wood disagrees. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So stick around. Hey guys, welcome back to the TipRanks YouTube channel. I'm Richard Allen. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the little dispute, the little spat that Jack Dorsey and Cathie Wood are having online over the past few days. Now, Jack Dorsey thinks that hyperinflation is coming for various reasons, but one of those main concerns that a lot of people have right now are supply chain constraints and supply chain issues. To begin with, there's so many issues right now with supply chains, from semiconductors to ships not being able to be offloaded, from cargo containers just being put on the sides of roads because truckers aren't available to ship those containers. I mean, there's a crazy issues right now with supply chain. Most people think that that's going to be the main concern, but Jack Dorsey thinks hyperinflation is coming for various reasons. But can supply constraints and money printing, quantitative easing, things like that, can it actually have the reverse effect on inflation? Can it cause deflation? Because that's what Cathie Wood is arguing. So I want to read you a couple different tweets, and then we're going to talk about what you guys think. I want to hear your opinion before you watch this video. Let me know, do you think hyperinflation is coming, or do you think we'll see deflation at some point over the next year or so? Let me know before you watch this video. Let me know down in the comments, hyperinflation or deflation. Let me know where you stand, and then by the end of this video, you'll know, obviously Cathie Wood is talking about deflation, Jack Dorsey is talking about hyperinflation. So maybe just do that. If you think Jack is right, say Jack down there. If you think Cathie is right, say Cathie down there in the comments, okay? But on Friday evening, the co-founder and CEO of Twitter and the founder and CEO of Square argued that hyperinflation is going to change everything. He says it's happening. Wood thinks the opposite is the case. Inflation could eventually turn to disinflation and deflation, a situation of inflation declining and finally falling below zero. One of Wood's tweets read, "Now we believe that three sources of deflation will overcome the supply chain-induced inflation that is wreaking havoc on the global economy. Two sources are secular or long-term, and one is cyclical. Technologically enabled innovation is deflationary and the most potent source." At the core of Wood's deflation thesis are technological innovations, like artificial intelligence, which raise productivity and drive production cost and prices lower. She says, when costs and prices decline, velocity and disinflation, if not deflation, follow. Wood said in another tweet, if consumers and businesses believe that prices will fall in the future, they will wait to buy goods and services, pushing the velocity of money down. Let's think of, let's say, the housing market right now. There was a mad frenzy to buy houses, and housing prices just skyrocketed this year. It went absolutely crazy. And I think part of that, people were stuck in their houses a little bit longer because of the pandemic and stuff like that. People were moving outside of cities into suburbs, and those were raising costs and prices of those homes in those suburbs. There was a lot of stuff going on with the housing market last year and this year. Now, a lot of people think because of that, because prices of housing going through the roof, that eventually home prices are going to go down. You can see that across the board with, let's say, cars, things like that. Once there's a bigger supply of cars, more semiconductors out there so they can make more cars, maybe the prices of those vehicles will eventually go down. So there are some people that have that school of thought. So you can see how short-term inflation can eventually cause deflation as well. So I hope that makes sense. Another driver of deflation is financial engineering, the issuing of debt by American corporations to enhance shareholder values. Then there's overstocking by some companies anxious to have enough inventories for the holiday season. As a result, once the holiday season passes and companies face excess supplies, prices should unwind or go down, Wood added. Some commodity prices, lumber and iron ore, already have dropped 50%. China's crackdowns are one of the reasons. The oil price is an outlier and psychologically important. That's deflationary too. Adding to Wood's deflationary argument is excess capacity. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, America's capacity utilization is hovering around 75%, far below 85%, which is considered full capacity. That's a big difference between today's economy and the economy of the 1970s, when inflation did in fact spin out of control. Meanwhile, a couple of factors that kept consumer demand high even in the middle of the pandemic, like the generous government benefits and the Fed's bond buying program, have either expired or are about to expire over the next 12 months. The bottom line, the U.S. economy can head in either direction on the inflation front, depending on which forces influence prices prevail. Now, hyperinflation is a scary, scary term, okay? Hyperinflation, you guys can think of places like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, they're going to have to print $1 trillion notes or something like that. I mean, there's going to be craziness if hyperinflation happens. And I think our economy is a little more robust and a little more elastic than some of those other places. I really think that we won't see any sort of hyperinflation. I think we'll see more inflation for the rest of the year, but I do agree that it will go down. But not an economist, okay? But I want to hear your opinion. Do you agree with Cathie Wood or do you agree with Jack Dorsey? Again, let me know. Jack or Cathie, down in the comments below. Let me know if you hope for inflation or deflation. I would love to hear if you have a lot of money sitting in the bank and it's not doing anything. Inflation could be a good thing for you. I don't know. Maybe you want some high savings account or high percentage on your savings account. I don't know. Maybe you like that sort of thing. I would not like high inflation. That would be terrible. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I appreciate each and every single one of you. As always, if you learned something new or found any value in this video at all, let us know by hitting that like button and that subscribe button down below. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.